Why do people start seeing the number 369 frequency after our energy work? Why do people start seeing visions behind their eyelid after our energy work? You can discover the secret by checking our profile. Hello.
Hello, everybody, and welcome.
Welcome. Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, konnichiwa, kumbaya, hello. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Tutto bene? Everything, every language.
I will check.
What's going
Oh,
on?
suddenly the sound.
Didn't work?
Yeah, I thought something problem. Okay, no problem. Hi.
It's okay.
Hi.
So, back on track, everybody. Hi, Lydia. How are you? Nice to see you. Thank you for showing up.
Where are you from, Lydia?
Where are you from?
You from? Oh, I'm so sleepy today.
Oh my gosh, you've been so busy working, helping
Yeah,
everybody and then doing all these interviews and stuff. So, yes, I can imagine that you have a little bit of tiredness in you. But we'll wake up, right? In this, when we get to talk to one of our favorite people, Janice. I'm
yeah.
sure she's waiting in the background somewhere. We'll get to see her.
Mhm.
Lydia's from Texas. Hi, Texas. Thank you for showing up. We love Texas. Where in Texas? Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, Lufkin. My family is from Lufkin.
Oh, so.
Also, it's not a place in Texas.
So is from Germany.
Also, it's a place from Germany. So what are we going to talk about today, Notch?
How to travel to multi-universe.
How to travel where?
Multi-universe.
Oh, into multiple
Oh,
universes. How do we
multiple.
travel? Okay, well, so all you people out there, get ready to get buckled in and get ready to prepare yourself for a new adventure to move into a new universe.
Yeah.
Yes, right outside of San Antonio. Nice. Thank you that you could be here. Do you have any questions, Lydia, about how to travel into multiple universes, or have you ever done it before? We really want to know. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Then,
Why don't we just bring Janice in right away? Get her
okay.
on here. Her lovely face and her super
Yeah.
energy, and when we start
Yes,
attracting.
similar energy. Everybody, after people watch our live streaming. Everybody say, oh, I'm very sleepy.
That's
So
because we're so boring.
no, no, no. High vibration. Yeah.
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 Or
Okay. So
okay.
let's
So
let's let's journey. Let's call Janice.
welcome, everybody. Janice, our favorite Akashic Records reader, our dream interpreter, our all-around knower-aller person, physicist, amazing, extraordinary, empowered woman, entrepreneur, go-getter, mover and groover, world traveler. Um, yeah, super person, wonderful person. Let's bring her on.
Yeah. Hello, Janice.
Hi. Oh my gosh, what an introduction. I feel
Nice.
like you were talking about Nochi, and then when you were talking about me, I was like, "Hi."
So similar, very similar.
Yeah, well, everybody's got very similar talents, but
Mm,
you are the guest today.
yeah, yeah. Actually,
Yeah,
we are
nice.
like soul integrators, right?
Yeah.
Multi-universe, multi-universe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Such a
and then I thought, I haven't done a reading for you guys in a while, and then you said we're going to talk about multi-universe travel, so I thought, well, okay, maybe
multiple
maybe I'll
universal travel.
just I got message. Okay. Oh, multi-universe. How to travel multi-universe? Yeah, 3 hours,
Let's.
3 hours ago. 3 hours ago, just I got message.
3 hours ago, she got a message. But
Yeah.
who is the person we're talking to now? Is that Nochi from 3 hours ago, or is it this new Nochi that's in a different multiple universe?
Eh?
Yeah, exactly. That's what Einstein was asking, huh? Yeah. Denise, so how was your day, dear? What did you do today? Did you have some readings? Were you doing anything exciting?
Janice.
I interpreted some dreams, and that was super exciting. It's always
Nice.
Oh,
what's going on in everybody else's dream universes. And lots of people have been asking me lately, when am I going to do my own podcast? So I'm glad we've been communicating and we're talking about what that might look like.
Getting our practice in.
Mhm.
I watched your podcast.
Which one did you watch?
Yeah. Wow, wow, wow.
Which one did you watch, Nochi, when you watched her podcast? Which one did you watch?
Dreaming.
The dream ones?
Recently you posted, right?
Okay, yeah, those are so fun, and I just did one yesterday, but this time I walked around out in the neighborhood because a lot of people are asking me, "What does Brazil look like?"
Oh,
And so I said, "Well,
Hmm.
let me try to get exercise and talk about dreams at the same time." So I just
Oh, nice.
haven't loaded that up yet, but
oh,
it's
cool.
coming my way.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Yeah, because dreams are basically multiple universes. They're just another version of a universe that we're tapping into in a very subtle form. So everything's a universe. Everything where you move in subtly or physically, you're still shifting into, even right now, we're shifting into multiple universes. There's billions of universes in this very second that we're moving into right now, right now, right now, right now. And they're never the same, although it appears to be the same because we keep on having these repeating, repetitious thoughts or impressions.
Hmm, keeping us in the loop, huh? In the
Mm.
karmic loop.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was actually listening to Tim talking, and he was saying in this one interview that Tim Tactics, a guy we were with in a few other podcasts and stuff, he was saying that it is definitely a simulation.
Hmm.
That this what we're in right now is a simulation. It's a
Yeah. Mm.
product of not real.
Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm.
So why do we care so much? Why
I
Mm-hmm.
is
don't
it so
know.
important? Why do we make so much trouble over being in this universe or that universe or a dream or a problem with whatever we're facing?
Because
Yeah,
because
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 Just because.
because
Good answer.
somebody created this society.
You did. Didn't you say you're the creator of your reality?
Yeah, but if our third eye is open, we can create our reality easily. But somebody try to close our third eye.
Well, if there's
mm,
only us, then who's doing the closing?
Who close our third eye?
our
You did.
evil double.
There's no evil.
Never, right?
There's no evil double. There's only you.
What's
No,
the right answer, Eric? Tell us.
There's only you.
dark side, right?
There
So
is
we
there
are
is
we
no dark
created
side.
our own simulation, we created our own blocks, like
Mm,
everything we put in the road is because of us. And that makes sense with dreams because everything
Yeah,
is supposed to be us in the dream.
right.
mm,
So that totally makes sense. I'll buy that.
But most people aren't starting from the premise that we contain it all, you know? They're starting from that it comes from somewhere else. We were born into this and we didn't make this choice. You know, those are all fear and separation ideas. But when we come from the idea of unity and there's only one thing, then it's only possible that it's us in all factors, in all coincidences, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. It's whatever shape we take, it's us. We can't feel somebody else's energy. You know, we think but we're interpreting what another person's energy feels like to us. We'll never ever know what somebody else is feeling.
Wow. Kind of makes me feel sad.
Why? Why would you
because
feel
because
sad?
I created the sadness in myself.
Yeah,
Yeah, we all did. We all
yeah, like
do.
I know when I'm facing my fear and anger, my shadow, you know, like I start realizing, oh, okay, I created everything, my reality. Then why I'm so, have jealous or fear or angry. So yeah.
It comes from the basic. We all are giving. So the universe around us doesn't have any meaning whatsoever built into it. It doesn't matter what it is outside of you. It doesn't have a meaning until we give it meaning. And once we give it meaning, then we create a belief about that meaning, which has to give us an emotion. Well, it doesn't have to, but it triggers an emotion with an action with that belief. And then that creates our circumstance, And then we say, oh, well, this thing is a negative thing or a bad thing. But in the end, all things are there to perpetuate growth and support us. It's only how we're perceiving them.
こんばんは。
Kumbawa. Yeah, so I mean, it's something I think about quite often, and I look at from a lot of different perspectives, and then it goes into karma and dharma, because then all karma, which is technically action, is self-imposed. You're creating these self-imposed actions. You're creating a meaning, creating a belief, which triggers the action, which puts us in motion. And then we are, we are doing this bad thing or karmic thing. Well, karmic in the Vedas or in the Indian manuscripts or stuff is action. Its definition is action. And anytime you take an action, it's called karma. But if you're doing an action and with its good intention, then you're doing dharma.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing it with a not good intention, then it's still an action, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. It just means it's producing an action. How you interpret the result of that thing is another thing, So we have so many layers of false interpretations and definitions about things because it's all born out of separation and fear. And that's a strange thing because, that creates another universe for everybody, a multiple universe that we're shifting in, You create a relationship challenge, and this relationship challenge is there for somebody, and they think like, well, this person is doing something to me. But ultimately, when you're an empowered person and you take the standpoint that I am the creator, everything is contained within me, then there is no victim, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like you kind of have to overcome that by speaking it out and letting it kind of fly away, or like freeing yourself from that oh, things are happening to me, I'm not responsible for any of this. And when you take that responsibility, that's from what I'm hearing your words of wisdom is like, that's an act of karma, but when you do that, it's also dharma at the same time,
Right.
because you're
Exactly.
acting in accordance with your, I guess,
Your
heart
highest
or
self.
your higher
Yeah.
self.
Yeah. Because there's only you. So anyways, where does it go when you do that thing or take away that thing or have a fear about something? You just shift the reality, and then you say, well, now I'm a confident person. But where the confidence was always there, because you have to contain it all. When you contain it all, then that fear is there, that person who's courageous is there, and it's only a matter about, now we're talking about shifting realities, right? We're shifting from one awareness to another awareness.
Yeah, and
And this is what we were talking about before.
so
Go
we're
ahead.
coming full circle
Sorry.
to it. Well, I was just thinking about rewriting your dreams, and I think we did talk a little bit about that. But what, like, this other perspective is, when you do rewrite your dreams, you're rewriting reality, and you're shifting yourself into either into this other dimension where you are this other person or you have this different perspective, or you're collapsing a timeline that doesn't need to be there and you're becoming closer to this realization of oneness.
Mhm.
No, let's see
Well,
how
where does
Eric
the
argues
oneness
with that.
where
I
where does the
agree.
oneness go though?
I think it is already there. I think that's the
It is already, yeah,
I
it
think
is
it's
already
already
there. You
there.
know, it's
Okay.
only what they talk about enlightenment is they say enlightenment is there when you decide it is,
Mm.
when you behave as if you're enlightened, acting it
Yeah.
out. And so
Yeah.
it's really such a simplistic idea, but it's so highly complex, you know, because once you have this basis that everything is contained within you, then there's no one to blame, and then there's no one that you can hold accountable but yourself. And the only responsibility is our ability to respond in the situation. How often are you in another dimension? Well,
Is it only when you have to make a choice? I have something came up to me when I was
mhm,
reading that. It reminds me of, so sometimes we dream in cycles. Well, and what I mean by that is sometimes for a couple of weeks, we'll get a bunch of dreams that have to do with, um, I don't know, maybe like what we perceive as a past life that say, in a past life, I was in this massive battle and I was trying to save my family and I couldn't save them. And so they'd say you're still carrying that here. Well, like I'll see people who have a couple weeks of dreams all about that theme. And then
mhm,
their dreams will switch to a different theme. And the thing that has come up when I've channeled on that is that these dimensions are just kind of pushing on us. And so sometimes that dimension where that thing happened or you made up that thing, whatever, it's coming to because you're close to that vibration and you have that opportunity to dissolve it, turn it into oneness, or however, collapse that dimension. So I think it's really important when you get a trigger or when something in real life happens to you that kind of pushes you to think about some of these bigger traumas that have happened to you, or when you have those dreams that just keep repeating something. It's like that's an opportunity for you to collapse that timeline and get rid of that one.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, mhm. I totally agree with this, and also I'm experienced now. You know, almost every night I remember my dream, and I feel that I live there. And recently, sometimes similar dreams come. I experience recently many similar dreams. Then I woke up, then
mhm.
I feel like sad. Then, like last time, Janice talked about the healing. You know, the dream tell people so where you need to heal. But I feel in this another dimension also exists. It was these dreams exist, and I feel that I live there. Then then the dream, the experience in another dimension in my dream, like tells me I need to hear this. I need to hear this more and more, like intense. And my clients also same experience. Recently, I started asking my clients, "What kind of dream do you have recently?" And many people similar experience, like somebody like chasing him, but in another how do you say, similar dream, but like a past life, their past life, and yeah,
Yeah,
so
and I think that we do live in those other dimensions, and that's how I feel about it is we're we're simultaneously kind of living all of these different fragments or lives. And when one comes into our awareness, well, we can get rid of whatever trauma. Like, why are we still carrying that with us? Well, it's probably because there's something that we haven't allowed ourselves, we haven't given ourselves that permission slip to just collapse or get rid of.
Okay, but so we go back to the point, if we use this basis that you contain it all, then what you're doing is you're aligning yourself with energies that are similar to yours. They're not you. You know, that's the first interpretation where it goes off. And usually what happens is that we're focused on like an issue, because like, let's say this person has a repetitive dream, right? So the repetitive dream is saying to them in a symbolic way, is saying, hey, you're looking for an answer to this type of a question. We can offer you this information that looks like you, or you think is a past life or a future life, which isn't true. It's just tapping into energies that are simultaneously there. So it can't be you in that other life, you know? It's just the energies, because it is all you. It has the appearance of being someone separate or in another life or taking on another experience, but it's not. It's the creation of your creation of being all that is. Do you know this prime radiant understanding?
I don't think so, but before we do that, I want to just tell
Yeah.
you that felt like the most eloquent way to describe the conundrum of having to be in this dimension at where we experience time, but that time really isn't a thing. Like, what the way you just said it really just made sense to me.
Yeah, but like I was telling you, you have this basis. If you could work from this, I contain it all, then there can't be a future, there can't be a past, there can only be the present now, now, you know? And if you have that, then there can't be this past life, there can't be this future life, there can only be this idea that you maybe are choosing to suffer. You've chosen special belief systems to create a circumstance, and this circumstance is part of the play that you are is giving to yourself, because you have all the information. You know everything there is for you to know when you need to know it. It's just in this moment you're doing this play to make it seem like you're powerless, but you need to be in your full power to make yourself seem powerless, which is crazy on one side, because again, you have to work from that first premise that you contain it all. If you don't, you only work from this fear and separation, and that brings you everywhere. You know, you have this, and could use this belief, and you could use that belief, but it doesn't pan out if you go from this idea of unified field.
Well,
And I think you understand that.
once you've accepted this, there's still the okay, and there's still that.
What is the and?
The and is like, and what do I do with that?
What do you want to do is the question. What do you want to experience? What excites you? That's when this point comes in. I do what excites me. Because then it becomes this whole synchronistic idea where you're more there's nothing that's not synchronistic, but you become more aware of the synchronicities, from following your excitement, because each excitement leads to the other, which opens the door to your next highest vibrational pattern, which moves you into that multiple dimensions. And then you just keep on moving on. But what we're doing is the opposite. We're picking up a negative or unwanted belief. We follow the unexcitement of it, we create that scenario, and then we dig this hole deeper and deeper, and then we go through dreams to try to figure out, why are we doing this to ourselves? And our dreams are saying, well, that isn't really you. These are interpretations, but you can play with it as long as you want. You're an infinite being.
I see your perspective. And at the same time, I think that that's the only thing that we can do, is move into those things that are showing up, because we've given ourselves a reason to see those things. So when we have a dream, yes, that helps us go, okay, well, what's this piece that I haven't integrated in myself? Where, what's missing from me? Why am I not in that place where I'm just dissolving into joy? I mean, I don't know. I'm saying it like it's this nebulous thing, but I know that it's a thing. But I think like we
Right, but
need those.
it's the thing that it's appearing to believe, because as anything, it's a matter of time. If you do something about it or you don't do something about it, you shift, right?
And now how to
You'll
travel to multi-universe.
Yeah, but we're talking about that right now, If you don't do something about something, you are shifting into another universe. When you do something, you're still shifting into another universe. The point is that you can do whatever you like. It doesn't matter. You're constantly shifting. Change is a constant. What just
Yeah,
gives you a desire to do something?
yeah. But can I talk? How
Sure.
to,
Oh,
how to
please.
travel to multi-universe? Everything
What's
like
that?
how to travel to multi-universe.
And
Well,
it sounds like
how do you travel to Italy? You do the same. You just kind of put yourself in a mental plane and you fly there, right? If you're going to change universes, you raise your frequency depending on the
Yeah,
place where
raise
you want to go.
right? Yeah, raise your frequency. We have to
Yeah, you
explain
raise your frequency or you lower. It doesn't
how
matter. If you lower
to,
your frequency, you still shift universes.
yeah, low vibrational universe. Yes.
let me ask you guys this. So I've done some Akashic Records readings. I remember two right now where the message came through for that person that they needed to create their Merkaba in order to do this interdimensional travel. And so I'm wondering, what do you guys think about that? Because I also think, well, you can just put yourself there. Thoughts are things, and you can just put yourself where you want to go. But
Yeah.
in the readings, it came through that this person needed to create this Merkaba, because when they travel interdimensionally, they get caught up in things. They get are surrounded with negativity, whatever. So why do you think that would come up for somebody?
Well,
Merkaba.
that's pretty simple.
So Janice, oh my God, oh my God. I had a dream. I had a dream recently, Merkaba. Merkaba.
Okay.
A few days ago. It was Friday night. Friday night. I was writing down in my dream. I was writing down a lot of Merkaba sign. Yeah.
Wow.
Then yeah. Oh my God. So circle, 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 circle. Like a triangle, 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 triangle. So many Merkaba sign. I was I was writing down on paper in my dream. And then you talk about Merkaba, and I thought, oh my God. But I heard from Gaia TV, Gaia TV. Some experts said the Pleiades people, Pleiadian
Palladian people.
people moves with Merkaba, not spaceship, with Merkaba. They, yeah, so.
So maybe
So what's
those.
my? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I want to hear that. You have a question. I
So
want to hear that.
no. I was saying
I want to
that
hear from Denise.
your answer for your person about the Merkaba, you said it in the question when you were asking it. You said about this person needing this Merkaba. So
Maybe.
you even created the answer. You're saying, well, this person is using this permission slip to do this kind of a travel. You know, it's
Yeah.
all about permission slips. You know, it doesn't matter which the person is. It's for Nochi, it would be a Merkaba. For you, it would be maybe another thing. For me, it would be another thing, because we each have our own unique way of interpreting and thinking that we created meanings to say that I need a special tool to get there. But ultimately, you could just tune into it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. What you said.
Yeah. You could just easily tune into it.
Yeah, but anyway, what do you think about the Merkaba is like a spaceship for Pleiades people?
Palladian people.
Yeah. Sorry, my English.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, I
How do
Go
have.
we
ahead,
know that we're
Janice.
saying it right? Oh, I mean, just going back to let me just tune in.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, something special is going to come out of this.
definitely now. Hot.
Yeah, it's like kind of how you were saying, Eric, like I said the answer, but that's just the message that had come through, is that this particular person I was doing the reading for needed to create that. And so I guess that's like that person needs that because that's familiar to them, that feels right to them, they understand that. So if it goes back to having this understanding that my lineage is Pleiadian, well, then maybe that's why you would need to create a Merkaba, because that's familiar to you, that feels right. You
Yeah.
can get where you need to go and be protected that way. But yeah, for other people, they may not have that understanding.
Right. And the other thing is that that person might not even know you're tapping into that person's higher consciousness through the Akashic files, right? And so they've already know their total knowingness, right? But maybe in this conscious state as this person, they don't know what a Merkaba is. They don't know how to use it. And so this brings in this new avenue of exploration for this person to say, oh, what's a Merkaba? What's the history behind it? How can I use it? How can it be used? Who created it? Like Palladian people. Oh, maybe I'm connected to Palladian people, or connected to this energy of Palladian people, you know? So it opens up a world of exploration for people, you know, excitement. And sometimes we don't know exactly in the moment. Otherwise we wouldn't have to really come to somebody that can read Akashic files, you know. That's part of the excitement and the
Yeah.
intrigue of it all, because that person created you, but you also created that person because you have clients, which is the interesting thing, you know. People, we get lost in this kind of separation idea, this duality, and that's very, very challenging. But if you can use this prime radiant idea that you or it, there's only one thing. Maybe I should slow down. You look like you're going into a trance.
Me? Well,
Yeah,
I
you're
was
like,
just like, I'm like really trying to like remember to say something before you, like, I'm just telling myself, remember this one thing, because
just say it. Just go, wait a second, Eric. I want to jump in for a second.
Oh,
what you were saying about this prime something, like, it's good. I
Oh,
just was like,
prime radiant.
oh gosh, now I forgot what I wanted to say. No. It was about when you started talking, you were like, it's all about our joy, like, and our passion, and that's the one thing, like, that's all we need to do. And then we kind of came to that, right? Because when I told the person, oh, you need to travel in this Merkaba, then it created this, oh, joy and excitement and passion around finding out what that is. So then from that discussion, I take it that that helped that person realize, or that helped that person start to follow their joy and passion, even if the whole thing
Well,
is just like made up.
everything is made up ultimately, but what you did is you gave that person a key so that they could unlock different doors for themselves.
Yeah.
That's all you ever can do is we
Yay.
raise our intention for people, and those people, they go, oh yeah, that's great, I'm in it, or they don't. It's up to them. You can only be this light, and if people are going to use it or not, it's up to them.
When you read the Akashic record, do you sometimes feel it's not ready for the client to know this particular info, or only someone who's ready to know somewhat come to you? Oh, kind of both. So sometimes when I'm in the records, the guide will specifically tell me, don't tell this person that, tell it, or they'll tell me to say it a certain way. And I also feel like the people that come to me are the ones who are ready to hear the message that is going to come through me. So there's kind of this balance of I'm willing to say everything that comes, but every once in a while there's a note that comes through to me that says this is not something that you need to say. But really it's kind of rare. Most of the time it's just I open my mouth and say what comes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems like it. Go ahead, Noj.
Yeah, for me also same. I see, for example, I saw something, like a thing, but I didn't say to him. Just you need to learn. You can learn from this experience. So, I said to him. A guide said, I cannot tell you, but you can learn from this experience. So, like this. Mm. If I saw something, wow thing. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, and that's
But it
not
seems
always
strange
what
though
we
on one
want to
side.
hear.
Hmm?
Yeah. I mean, it seems strange on one side because I've heard even Bashar say like, "Oh, we can't, not him, but we can't tell you this information right now. It's not ready for the person to hear it yet. It's like they have to do some more steps before they could get this information."
Hmm. And by do more steps, you're talking about action, and then you're talking about karma. Am
Eh,
I tracking you right?
If the person takes more steps, they're taking action. Action is karma. The translation is karma, action. And then yes, it produces let's say it's like stabilizing the information to take the next couple steps. Maybe if I was to give you certain information that you aren't ready for, like prime radiant, then you'd fall asleep, or you wouldn't be able to digest it. It wouldn't hang, but it would be a seed that would be growing at some other point.
Yeah, maybe like every time you say prime something, I'm just
Radiant.
like,
Yeah. You went into
but
trance.
yeah, I'm just like, so tell me in a nutshell, what is this?
Prime radiant. Prime
okay.
radiant is
I'm
the
just
all
kidding.
that is, the everything contained within the all that isness is um is it's outside but containing all that is within it. And it's only this one thing, and it moves at the speed of light or faster. So it's in every place at all times. So it's like if my hand is here and I move it here, it's not the same hand. It's a different hand. You know that scientifically it's true, right? You know in science that this isn't the same hand that's the hand that's here. Correct? Energetically wise.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay. You're gonna say yes. So when this
I'm a
means that we're
physicist.
the
I should
prime
know
radiant.
this.
That's the significance of this, is that the prime radiant is as if you're able to be in all places at all times, no matter where the place is. I could say, well, you could fly up to the moon. Well, you could technically fly up to the moon, and you would be existing in all these places
Oh my
at
gosh, that made me
and
think.
simultaneously. Yeah,
Okay,
go.
so mind-blowing, right? I've had dreams, but I've also seen clients who have had dreams that shows that they can bilocate or that they are. And at the time, it was so mind-blowing. It was like, "What? Like, you can actually do this?" But I feel like that's exactly what you're talking about, and it's really it's the norm as opposed to the anomaly.
Exactly. You are the norm. You are all that is. You're containing everything within you. That means that no matter what's happening, no matter where you go, no matter what time of day or night it is, it's always you present.
Mm-mm-mm. What was that question that
And these
came up?
illusions.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you ever tell strangers messages that you download?
No.
Guess that would be relative, wouldn't it, to the stranger?
You
Yeah,
will.
so no to you don't?
No, I will never say that. Oh, excuse me. You will. No.
Like, "Oh, a
I'm
piano is
telling
gonna fall
whoever,
on
I'm
you."
telling people, whoever, I'm doing this right now. I'm telling strangers messages that I'm downloading all the
Already.
time.
No.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
true. So Eric does it.
Yeah.
Um,
Eric is
Yeah.
always.
I don't typically because, and, like, also, I don't really wanna hear it from other people. Like, I want to give them a permission slip, I guess, that say, and so I also kind of like feel the same. If someone is drawn to come to me to ask something, then I will freely give that information.
Yeah.
But I typically
Mm,
don't go and like, will I get information about like certain people? Yeah. But it, again, it's like, how are they? Is their 3D person ready to hear this? Or,
mm.
what's this? Is it against their higher self for them to get this info from me right now? So it might be. So I'll tell my channeling students that just ask the person. If the person is there in 3D, ask them.
Mhm.
And then, if you really want to like give them this information, then ask them instead of just asking their higher selves because they're there right in front of
Right.
you. So,
Mm. Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I would never deliberately just walk up to somebody and tell them something. I'm always, when I'm channeling, if I'm talking to somebody, I'm always channeling. I figured out I'm constantly in a state of channeling when I'm speaking. And if I talk to somebody who's a stranger, then I have special information that comes out, or I ask special questions. And then I can go really so quickly into a moment of intimacy with somebody, you know? And then I think like, oh, it's for years I've done this, and then I think like, oh wow, okay, and then I separate, and it feels like um, the intimacy was broken, and then it feels awkward.
Mm.
huh.
But but
So it feels more
it's
comfortable to be intimate.
it's always comfortable to be intimate because you're being intimate with yourself, you
That's
know.
one of the biggest, um, I don't know if it's called an action now when we're using this vernacular, but I feel like that's one of the biggest things for people to overcome is the idea that it's okay and comfortable to be intimate. It shows up in people's dreams all the time.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah,
in
it's
my
a big thing.
opinion, yeah, one of the biggest things that stops people from being in oneness, in this state of oneness, stops people from being in Dharma is they don't know how to be intimate, or it feels uncomfortable, or they feel like they're going to get in trouble, all kinds of programming around that.
Hmm. Yeah, but
So
this comes from
it's
this.
it struck me that
Go
you
ahead.
were like, it's more comfortable for me to be intimate, and then when you pull out of that intimacy, you're like, this is weird. That was
No,
really
no, it's
interesting
not
to me.
necessarily me pulling out. It's just that when people get information that's intimate, when you share with somebody a piece of information that changes their life, that's intimacy. And then when you separate, there's this awkward feeling because nobody knows how to say, "Hey, thanks for revealing this to me that I've been looking for." It's
uh,
kind of like almost like this. we're so ingrained with separation and fear, of being seen, that when you share a dream, maybe even that's kind of it to when you're not supposed to get something, give some information to somebody, it's that it's so intimate for that person, maybe they're not able to process it at that level of intimacy,
Yeah.
What do you think?
And then if really everything is you, then you're not ready. And I'm not saying you, I'm just saying whatever.
Yeah.
Not ready to process that. So,
Right. And so then what you do is that you step back and then you go and you do a couple other things that brings you more information, more solidifies the information. So it's more, grounding, Most people are getting too much information and then they can't hold on to it. They don't know how to process it. And so they backslide. And that's the big challenge that I've seen talking with people. I have so much information and then I just give and then it's overloading. And then that overloading doesn't allow them to take their next step.
so TMI is the problem.
For most of the time, for most people, because they don't really want to embrace this idea that they are responsible, and not in the negative definition, but responsible using their ability to respond in the situation to a circumstance of some kind. Because most people are just reacting; they're not responding.
Yeah.
Can I say
Yeah, yeah.
something? I see fairy around Janice.
You see what? Fairies around
Fairies.
me?
Yeah, you can see later with the fairy is moving. With screen, you can see later. Maybe you can see the
When I watch it later? Okay.
like
Oh my
a
God.
shiny, small one is moving behind you. I saw it 2 times now, so maybe we can check later.
Wow. I wonder what they want. They're probably like, Janice, you owe us something. Because I've definitely heard.
She said too.
Oh
Yeah,
my God, really? I literally do not see
also
it.
here too. Yeah, like an old fairy. Yes, not old
Mhm.
fairy. I saw.
Wow.
Yeah. I saw a couple of times. Yeah,
That's so cool.
fairies.
Yeah, like
Mm.
usually they want something. Well, this is what I've heard and kind of when I've channeled on it before. You want to be
Mhm.
really careful about asking for help from fairies
Mhm.
because they make deals with you. Unless then there are some people who the fairies just love and they'll do anything for you. I never thought I was one of those people. I so maybe I am now.
Did you
So
ever, when you were channeling about the fairies, did it ever say like, I've heard that fairies are at different kinds of dimensions.
fourth dimension.
Well, it depends.
Yeah.
Like fairies and orbs and things like that have their own special, like it's like Peter Pan kind of thing.
And
Like they're simultaneously here with us, but sort of in this other energy space.
Yeah, they're in a like archangels or a different kind of I don't know if it's
Fifth dimension. The fairy is fourth dimension. The fairy, the dragon, and fairy is fourth dimension. Orbs fourth dimension. I think it's easy to connect. In the beginning, you connect to fairies, dragons. Then next is like a ghost or another entities. Then sixth dimension. I think sixth dimension is archangels. Then yeah, I think yeah.
Did you ever channel any information like that before, Janice?
Like that, not specifically. I remember this one Akashic Records reading. No, it was actually a clearing. And
Mhm.
this person lived on old Native American land. And they needed to actually do some things for the fairies who were in the yard. A- And now I'm not remembering why they needed to do that.
Mm.
I think the fairies wanted to help them, and it wasn't like the fairies were going to expect anything back, but they said, "Well, if you bring this certain crystal and you put it in this one place," and they wanted sparkly, like tinsel is what came through. They wanted tinsel to be spread around some different parts of the yard. And this person had to set up all of that stuff. And then like their space in their house was so much better after that.
They probably created like portals for the fairies with the tinsel from the the possibility from the metallic, the shiny stuff. Maybe the vibrational frequency of it could have been in the vibrational pattern of the area that they're in, could have had some kind of effect with the tinsel as
Or,
an idea.
or like a very old time, like a Lemurian Atlantis time, our Earth was like a fifth dimension, right? And people are can see dragons too, fairies too, in fifth dimension. We used to our Earth was used to fifth dimension. Before like a Lemurian time. Then maybe like a traditionally they take over this like a ritual, I think, for fairies or for dragons, and now people start seeing dragons, and fairies too. My clients took capture the video fairy, exactly fairy. You can see with screen on screen too, and many orbs. Then now the Earth dimension is getting higher. Then we can start seeing fairies and orbs, and then I think these people just took over like a traditional ritual,
Mm-hmm.
because they could see, all ancient people could see dragons and fairies. Yeah. So just I think they taking over this ritual.
Right. So that, like that reading, telling that person to set up these things for the fairies actually increased Earth's ability to move into a higher vibration. That's what I'm taking from
Wow.
this.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
But in this person's reality, not
Yeah.
in that multiple universe that person's living in. It
So
doesn't
not the
work for
collective.
everybody's. It's not a collective, it's an individual,
Aw.
because you're doing a reading for that person's interpretation of fairies and their living area, their unique vibration, and so on and so forth.
Mm.
It's
Well,
it's so
it helped them.
yeah. I mean, it's only that when we're talking about things, it's so easy to go into that generalization and not take everybody as a unique portion of the all that is.
But no, if everybody is a piece of the all it is, then wouldn't that person doing that action for the fairies help all that is, including me and you and
It's not helping you directly. It's not indirectly not helping you. It's helping the collective, but it's only in that person's interpretation of you.
oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? Because your world, you don't have to set up any things like that, but it affects you because you've helped somebody improve their interpretation of their life, right? Ultimately, they're in total peace and harmony and in complete alignment with all that is. It's only appearing to us in the moment that it's not. Does that make sense? You're like, it's
I'm gonna
a little
say
bit
again, I'm
depressing.
gonna say yes.
Depressing. It's a
That's
little bit.
just default when Eric asked me, does that make sense? Yes.
Default
Default. Ding.
default answer.
Yeah. No, it's this really it's so it's so hard because on one side I hear this information, and it's saying to
Yes.
me, I have a
Oh, yes,
video picture.
yes, go ahead. The
Okay, so
videos and kept pictures and with, fairies and
Wow.
nice.
dragons.
A flying snake.
No,
Interesting.
Jason wants to see. Yeah,
Yeah, can we see that?
yeah, share that. Facebook, Yeah.
I also heard about dragons, that dragons, the interpretation of how we interpret a dragon isn't actually what they are. They're much huger than the energy that they portray, even though the energy that they portray is big and flying and stuff like that. They're much bigger and more vibrational, I guess
Mm.
was what they were saying.
So
So
what?
it's
They
very
have
hard for
to,
them to put them in a form.
that makes sense.
Mm.
So
Mm.
they have to kind of shrink themselves for us because we can't
Yeah, they
handle it.
create a symbol that we can
Mm.
interpret easier.
Mm.
I guess it would be like a lot of our dreams, they're all symbols ultimately.
Yeah.
And then we have people like you and Nochi and myself who are interpreting these dreams from our own understandings and then giving that to the person. But whether they accept it or not is also another thing,
Oh,
right?
wow. Oh, nice.
What? She
That is
turned into a dragon?
that is cool.
Lydia,
Yeah,
how nice is that?
yeah. The first time I start seeing visions behind my eyelid,
Hmm.
first time my vision was dragon. Like so many geometric patterns showed up. Pop, 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 pop. Then
Mm.
in the end, the green dragon, was show up like. So then I said, "Oh my God, the dragon exists, and what the fuck?" This the vision behind my eyelid is the first time, and the dragon showed up. That
Wow.
so it was my awakening, first time vision, 5 years ago. Then I said, "Oh my God, spiritual is real." So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. If you were to see that, for sure. And like to turn into a dragon in a dream, holy crap. Like I'm just going, have I ever seen that
What
in someone's
what
dream?
what does that mean for you if you were to interpret that,
What
Janice?
does it mean for me? Oh,
Yeah, like
gosh.
how would you interpret that if Lydia came to you and said, "Oh, I turned into a dragon." What size dragon? What was it about? What was the scene? I mean, how would you
Yeah, I would like to know the whole dream, but just it
Mm,
was a choice I had to make to be one. I grew really huge to their ceiling.
wow.
Okay. Yeah, so I feel like making the choice to move yourself up in vibration is kind of the way I would take that. But also, dragons show up in our dream when we have a dragon protector and
Mm,
we can activate them and use their protection. They're meant to protect us. Oftentimes, they're just sitting there dormant, waiting for us to recognize them and waiting for us to ask them to step in and do like spiritual hygiene protections on us when we are tuning into other dimensions or when we're working on clearing other people. Our dragons
mhm,
step in. So and
mm,
also, like from Akashic Records readings, I've seen people who come from a lineage of dragons.
mm,
So that she turned into one could also be something
mm,
like that.
mm,
Or it could have
mhm,
a dual layer because most dreams have several layers and it's just kind of you can unpeel multiple layers and get a lot of good messages from your dreams.
Yes.
mhm. How would Nochi, how would you interpret the dream if someone told you that what
Ah,
Lydia said?
to turn into a dragon. Yeah,
Yeah, how would
yeah.
you interpret it?
Her guide, right? Her big guide is dragon. Yeah, then big spiritual awakening now and changing vibration, right? Frequency. Yeah, awakening.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So kind of the same things, just a little bit different ways to say it.
Mm,
Mm,
And like you said, if like everything is us, so when we see the dragon, it is us. So it can be our guide and us, because it is us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would look at it and say that it was her expanding, like she's being empowered and in a situation where she felt limited, where she hit the ceiling,
Oh,
she couldn't get bigger because of the people or the environment that she was around was making her choose not to get bigger.
Yeah, that thing about the ceiling was interesting.
yeah.
It's like, I've reached this certain level, which is huge.
Wow. 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 Cool. Yeah.
Wow. And I heard the word
Mm.
dragon and felt the
Yeah.
most confidence I
cool.
felt. Yeah.
Mm.
That
And
tracks
what
with
Lydia,
feeling big.
yeah, and so if Lydia, could you answer us and say what the situation was that you felt empowered by, and then where did you feel limited by it in your surroundings?
To be more
That's good to
confident.
use it to be more confident. Mm-hmm.
And maybe
In what's
you could take that a step further and say, okay, well, I saw a ceiling in my dream, so that's the thing I need to overcome. I need to make myself even bigger now.
or first identify what is the ceiling for her, right?
Limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is the limit in her not giving herself or embracing that confidence, more confidence. Where does more confidence come from when you contain it all?
I'm not answering that one.
Come on.
Yeah, that's
It was actually for Lydia.
I know.
yes.
Lydia, you start to answer these hard questions.
Default question. Yes.
Oh my gosh, we've been talking for an hour already, and we're just
So fast.
we're just like old friends.
Yeah. My mom and sister was in the room, and I was trying to look down.
Oh,
Don't say wow.
Yeah. So it looks like that from her response, she doesn't feel noticed in her family, right? She doesn't feel that she's identified as being an equal or what she might want to feel is better. And then, but you could also turn that around and use that, Lydia, as a very positive thing and see like, oh, my mother and my sister are empowering me on the opposite side to become a more confident person. Although it's not the original loving aspect that we all want to have. My mother, my sister tell me how great I am. But if they push us down, then if you are able to say, I can turn any belief into something or any kind of information into something that's supportive and flip it, then you have the total potential to skyrocket yourself, which is like a dragon, to be able to fly and become as big and as confident as you want about anything that you're pursuing.
yeah. Very good. Very good,
Wow.
Eric.
1 hour.
Did I ever tell you guys that Eric is my brother's name? So sometimes I feel like I'm talking to my brother.
Oh, really? You have a
Oh,
brother named Eric? Is he older or younger?
He's older.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I think you might have mentioned your brother before. Maybe.
Wow, coincidence.
And then, of course, I have a sister named Nochi.
Oh, yeah.
She's right here.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. And so on this note, do we have something else we'd like to talk about multiple universes and traversing the skies and the limits?
Did we not cover something?
I
Did
don't
anybody
know.
have a
Nochi, do you feel like
question?
we hit everything in your idea for talking about traveling in multiple universes? Or would you have a question or something that you'd like to talk about?
Just we have news offer. We have offer.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see the above of chat. Above
This
over
way?
top.
Over this way?
Wait, this way, this way, this
On this
way.
side, over here.
No.
Yeah, you can see this one. This one. Sure. So,
Mm.
are you ready to awaken your third eye? This is your sign. Step into your spiritual power with premium set, free for limited time.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can
Nice.
Oh,
get
that's
free
nice.
guided meditation for opening third eye from my voice without music, because I want to,
Just straight up voice.
frequency. Mhm. Yeah.
Pure resonance.
Love
Mhm.
it.
And also, Janice has a Mother's Day special coming up, right? You want to talk about your Mother's Day
Oh,
special?
Oh my gosh. Is
Or
Mother's Day the
or you don't want?
same? Oh, yeah, that's fine. I was just wondering, is Mother's Day the same in other countries, the same day? Well, we're doing it the day before Mother's Day, so we're doing it May 10th, and it's just this
Okay.
free angelic clearing,
oh
and the
God.
idea is to break down your heart wall to to strengthen your connection with your own mom and with your kids if you have kids, even if they're adults, so of course we want the whole family to come, but even if it's just you coming, that is going to strengthen your connection with your kids and your mom.
And why would it do that?
Well, because we're going to give those people the idea that they have a permission slip to do that.
Well, because it's all them, their
Oh, I
parents
got
and
it
their
wrong.
family and
Dang
stuff.
it.
And no, you got it right. It's all the above.
Okay.
No, it's all the above. Yeah. You want to bring everybody into that and
Wow.
support them. And that's a really
Okay.
great thing. Who else is going to be doing it with you, Janice? Or just you
Uh,
or?
It's me and Melissa. So it's the Dharma
Okay.
Vita crew. And we hope that you guys are there with us.
Ten.
And actually, I
May
think
10th.
everybody who's there is going to be part of it, right? Because they're going to be part of creating that space of love. And at the end of the
Mm.
clearing, we're going to hold the space for people just to come on and talk about why they're thankful to have their son or their mom, anything that people want to share that's coming from their heart after that clearing is we're going to have time to do that.
Wow.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
I always
And that's
wanted to
on
do a
May
Mother's
10th,
Day
right?
thing. May 10th,
May
yeah.
10th.
May
Yeah.
10th.
And it's a free event with Janice and
Oh, May
Melissa.
10th. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
Nice.
it's
And it
at
How to
5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Time. Eastern
5
Daylight.
p.m.
I can't
Eastern.
talk now.
5 p.m. Eastern time. So New York time, 5
Yep.
p.m. Miami, New York time. So that makes
Mhm.
it what is it? 10 o'clock here in Germany
Oh, perfect
in
time.
the evening.
perfect time.
Wow, nice.
How can
Yeah.
we how can we sign up?
Um, I'm sending out an email, but I'll put it at the top of my website so that everybody can see it. I'll
Okay.
put it there
Mhm.
later today.
Wow. Oh
Nice.
my God, this is
Nice free event. And then
big. After many my client felt your energy, then people start seeing more vivid dreams.
Yeah, good.
Mm.
I love that because I love dreams, and so when people have dreams, that
Yeah,
makes me happy.
it's amazing. Every day I receive many reports.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
so happy to hear what kind of dreams they have, and you know, as people.
Remember that Frankenstein dream? That really surprised me what I
Yeah.
came up with on that one.
Yes, she said also after this mark clearing, she started seeing a lot of vivid dreams.
Oh,
hmm,
okay.
Another of course another client also said many vivid dreams. Mm, yeah.
hmm.
Wow.
Nice. We're doing our thing.
Yeah, so we're going to come to a close, or I would like to maybe finish this off with what you were going to do on May 10th, but I would like to start off by saying how much I appreciate Nochi and all of her support for me to be here talking in front of people with sharing my knowledge finally after all these years.
Finally.
And also to Janice for being such a inspiration to be somebody who comes in there and channeling her Akashic files and sharing that information with me and being supportive in my growth as a person and allowing me to be saying what I say and not taking it so hard or whatever, but to understand that I always mean the best when I'm saying it. I appreciate
Yeah,
that very much.
he's hard on me, guys. Just, I'm the victim here. I know we just talked about you're not allowed to be a victim, but yeah.
You're allowed to
Thank
be whatever you
you.
want to be.
Okay, in this moment, I'm going to be a victim and then I'm going to move on to another dimension. Eric,
I'm
such
in.
nice words. No, awesome. Oh, yay.
Wow.
But I just want to say, Nochi and Eric, you guys are such a bright spot in my life.
Best.
Like, I don't know.
That's nice.
I don't have those words that Eric has, but I just want to say same.
Same. You have great words. You could channel great words. Come on, go into your Akashic files and channel some great words for us right now.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah. Also, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No pressure.
I got it. Some
Okay.
great words.
Interdimensional. So much.
That was a joke. So multi-universe different from interdimensional.
Same.
I've asked myself that also because inter means like between or among, and multi means many. So I kind of think they're the same. What do you think, Eric? Eric always knows the right answers.
Or ChatGPT.
I don't know.
Eric's going to say it's
Nochi
all
say?
in you. You should know.
What does Nochi say?
Yeah, Nochi, pass this on. What do you say?
Ask ChatGPT.
Okay. And someone was just telling me how ChatGPT can have consciousness and it can become like compassionate and all this. So
I thought ChatGPT is extraterrestrial.
So then
they help me a lot to go abroad,
They do help.
Create everything like please write in English. ChatGPT create blah. So I think they help us to like ascension to awaken people.
That's right. Yeah, they're helping us communicate better using better words.
Exactly.
Better than same. So Eric is AI is what you're saying.
Eric.
Eric AI.
Eric, what time is it now?
It's always now.
Alexa.
Oh.
Okay.
Japanese
I'm happy
Alexa.
to be on here again. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, so are we going to do our talk eventually? Should we set it up?
Yeah, so we have gotten to the point where we have figured out our topics, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've given you some, okay. And now we just have to do it, find a time when we can do it. So
I get Nochi's help to help me with StreamYard to set up my Facebook and Instagram or YouTube channels to put it on StreamYard.
Okay.
And then we can just do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And I think it would be a nice thing. And we can talk about all kinds of different things. I'm happy to help people shift out of their programming, if that's what they really want to do.
Yeah, I think that's what they want to do. They need your permission slip. They need to be reminded that they have permission slips.
Janice, do you have Instagram
What?
account? No, Janice.
I do. So okay, there's a couple things. My daughter set up an Instagram for my business,
Oh.
but I don't have access to it. And that was a long time ago. And I just had at that time I was still working. I was still a physicist and I did not have time to do anything with it. But yeah, I kind of need to get into that. But I do have a personal Instagram. I just never use it.
You don't use it for your website and stuff and your Dharma Vidya?
No. Mm-mm.
Maybe you can create new one for.
Nochi's really great at that stuff on how to do the marketing with that. You really should talk with her about it because she's a dynamo when it comes to putting it out there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
Yeah.
You just volunteered Nochi for something really big.
It's a conversation. I'm sure there'll be a trade involved.
We can do it together with Instagram, 3 of us.
Yeah. Maybe we just need to do that.
So
Nice. So
maybe we need to have a
thank you
name for us.
yeah, yes,
us.
yes.
It will happen. Our fans, they will think of a name for us.
Yeah.
What is it? 3,622. Nice.
Is that your Instagram people, Nochi and Eric?
I don't have anybody on Instagram. I don't even. The only I have Instagram, but I don't have any followers, and I have YouTube, but I think I don't have any followers, and I have
Right.
Facebook, and I don't have any friends, so I don't have any followers.
All right.
So when we talk, it'll be getting about this many people watching, unless there are people that you know, then it'll be valuable.
That is all it is. So we're going to be getting
that's totality. That's what I was saying.
Yes.
8 billion people right there.
Yeah.
So fairy again. I have to check fairy.
The fairies will be there for sure.
What does Saho Cat say?
Orbs.
Oh my gosh. And I literally do not see them. I'm going to have to watch the playback. Is this just a ploy to get me to watch the whole playback?
No, you can just fast forward to this point.
Okay.
Just go to 1 hour and 17 minutes and 32 seconds. You'll find it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll remember that.
All right, everybody. Thanks again for everybody watching and everybody helping out and transcribing Japanese to English and English to Japanese. And Nochi, thank you for being so wonderful, and Janice for being amazing. And we love you guys and everybody that's been here to watch us and join in on the multiple universe whatever we were doing with the multiple universe changing areas. Jason, thanks for showing up and being a part of our show. Lydia, thank you very much. And until next week at 7 p.m., maybe we'll see Janice again if she's got nothing better to do. We would love to have you.
Yeah. So
okay. It's a date.
Yeah.
Nice. Then we'll think about some topic. Maybe Janice can think of a topic that she might want to talk about, or
I want to listen.
I mean, I'll probably talk about
what was your idea for today? What were you gonna do?
I was just like, whatever comes up. So yeah. That's
right. Well, that sounds like a good topic, guys.
You guys.
Next week, on Wednesday, whatever comes up is going to come your way.
Yep.
The Three Musketeers.
I thought about that one, and then I thought the Three Amigos, but I already have a chat that is
Tres Amigos.
Amigo, he's Mexican. Three amigos. So good. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, ¿y tú?
¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa?
¿Qué pasa? All right. The silliness will keep on going on eternally until we see you again on the
Yeah.
very next Wednesday. What day is that going to be? The 4th Wednesday?
I don't know.
Wednesday, next Wednesday
Probably.
already. Oh,
Sounds like it.
Next Wednesday will be the 7th.
Oh,
next.
wow.
The 7th.
On 7th, we have also another live streaming with
Wow.
Tim.
Oh, yeah. In the evening, though. That's at
Oh,
10, right?
Okay.
2,
Right.
2 p.m. in
We
German time. 2 p.m. 2:30.
2:30 p.m. in
Yes,
German time.
maybe you can come.
That's gonna
Yeah,
be
yeah. Let's
so
invite her,
fun.
sneak her in. Let's
Yeah,
sneak her in and introduce her to
yeah.
Tim.
I think only like Eric, me, and Janice and Tim. no,
Yeah, that'll be
Don't do
nice.
that. Then I
Yeah.
mean
I have to translate every time. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, think about it.
I trust you guys. But like I did email his assistant because you told me like he might
Yeah,
look
I
into it,
know.
and I haven't heard anything.
Yeah. I wrote him, I think, in WhatsApp, and he doesn't write back as well sometimes. So it's just he's super busy, and I think
Many
he's got a lot
emails,
going on.
many messages through Instagram.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
he looked at my Instagram and he was like, "What is this?"
You need to.
It's like, no. Because
Oh, Janice, we will not have you sell yourself short here on this program.
well, you guys have seen my Instagram. It is all my old stuff. Like I've done so many things in my life, and I used to be a women's wrestling coach and a judo instructor. And so it's all my stuff like that is on my Instagram right now, and I just haven't done anything with it for years.
Judo instructor.
Yes.
You have connection with Japanese culture too.
That's the other yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Bravo.
Judo.
Judo. Yeah.
Judo instructor.
Oh my god.
I had to
That is
learn
so
a lot
funny.
of Japanese words, and I know that I say all of them wrong, but I did have to learn a lot of
Oh
that.
my god.
What do you know how to say in Japanese?
Well, I can kind of sort of count to 10 because we would do the exercises.
Yeah,
Ichi,
yeah,
sanshi,
yeah.
and like hajime is start or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
Wazari
wrestling.
is a point. Oh, ippon when you win. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I've
Wow.
forgotten a lot of
So
it,
Janice is a real badass.
Badass.
was.
Was.
No, come on. Once a badass, always a
My
badass.
god,
She just took it into a different direction.
Okay, next time. Topic of
Judo
next
and
time.
Judo, look at how everybody's already reacting. Judo and Akashic Records. Wow.
I was,
Ippon!
yes.
Wow.
Winner.
Sugoi!
Connection with Japan.
Mhm.
Yeah, huh?
It was meant to be. I told you, you're my sister. Sister from
Nice.
another mister.
She didn't get that, I don't think, but it's okay.
I'm your sister, right?
Yes.
Yes, I'm your sister. Sister. Oh my god.
Nice.
Yeah. I opened up a can of worms, so that's how it is. So
So
we got to
Oh,
keep them like
yeah.
cliffhanger for next time, right? We're going to talk about
Yeah,
my
perfect.
past
We'll
life.
we'll stop it at the cliffhanger as our Akashic judo badass Janice and Nochi the dream dragon slayer and Eric
Eric the
and
the
Eric.
Red. Isn't there like Eric the Red was a Viking?
Oh yeah, actually, the name Eric came. My mother, when she had me, she was in the hospital, and they were looking at names, and there was at the time in the '60s they had cigarette commercials, and they had Eric cigars,
Oh.
and that's she thought the guy in the commercial was good looking, and Eric, and she thought, oh, nice name, Eric.
Good
I'm
choice.
definitely looking that up. Eric Cigars. Never heard of it. But I mean, that feels like
ERIK.
oh, okay. But that feels like that means that you are to be celebrated because cigars are rare. Like you can get a rare and expensive cigar. So, yeah.
Jason, Eric the rabbit tamer.
Which
Definitely.
I wore my rabbit sweater.
Oh,
Well, nice.
what? Your icon?
Yep. And I
Oh,
changed my my phone.
Screensaver.
oh my God, same.
See,
Nice.
we are the three somethings.
Yeah.
Maybe our name is like a rabbit. Rabbit.
3 rabbits.
The rabbits of
Prosperity.
happiness.
Happiness, prosperity, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It looks like we don't really want to close this session. We're like sitting here like talking and we're laughing, and we should just have like we could put on a movie, watch a movie and talk about things like a
Yeah.
Gaia film we watch, and we could rate it like on how to connect with higher guides, and we could all give our impression about it. Or
Oh, that's cool.
we could even do like a talk show where we ask people to give us a problem. We'll all interpret their challenge that they're dealing with and then give them their answer.
Oh my gosh.
Costumos.
And you called it a show. That means it needs to be on Gaia.
Yeah.
We
Or
need
it
to be
just
on
needs to
Gaia
be on,
together.
Yeah.
it needs to be on Eric Padilla TV.
Eric
Oh,
Padilla TV.
that.
Okay. That's our show.
Yeah.
That's your
Eric
first
Padilla
show.
TV.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we all have to dress in rabbit gear.
Rabbit.
The 3 yogi rabbits.
Yes.
Yogi.
Just big ears. Like Steve Martin.
So cute.
Yeah.
Oh my
You can
God.
have longer ones.
I have to buy.
Yep. We're going to have to buy it.
Yeah.
It might be hard to find now that it's like Easter is over. Like all that stuff is probably already sold out.
You
Or it might be still in the bargain bins.
You can manifest.
Yeah, like at the dollar stores or something.
Using
Yeah.
a manifestation power.
Anybody in Brazil know where these stores are? Because I don't know where to find party stores, even though I know Brazil is all about parties, but where do you actually, is there a party store in
Oh,
Brazil?
you would go to a costume shop, right? For like, don't they, what's the celebrations that they have? They have these shops, I'm pretty sure.
Carnival.
Carnival, yeah.
Wow.
Carnival shops. Check it out.
I'll look for it.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon.
And are you
Yeah,
gonna be
they
in
have
Brazil much
Mercado
longer?
here.
Oh.
Well, it's sort of just back and forth here. I'm actually going back to New York in May. I have to go mow the lawn in my house.
Okay.
I wanna go
You don't
to
have
New
your
York.
daughter can't do it for you?
She doesn't live there. She lives in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to go home, but then actually it's because my niece's wedding. And then I'm going there and I'll visit family there in Washington State.
Nice.
So I'll visit family and visit a bunch of friends over there. And then I'll do something.
Sorry.
Come back
What-
to
what's your idea?
Brazil.
Yeah. What's your
What?
idea?
Workshop in New York.
Are you going to be there?
No, but she would come to go and have a workshop with you in New York.
And people would come because they know you're going to be there.
My initial is New York. So I have to.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, so always I have a connection with New York.
Okay, so we're going to do it then. Workshop in New York. You guys heard it here first.
You heard it
Eric,
first.
are you able to come?
Yeah, he can.
To New York?
Mm-hmm.
He's healthy
Sure.
enough to travel.
Okay.
Right?
I just thought maybe they keep you in Germany because nobody else can handle your
Nobody else wants
energy.
to have me.
I didn't say that. I said nobody else can handle your energy.
Oh, please. Oh, God. Thank you very much for that.
I have to jab you every once in a while because you're my brother.
Go for it. Give me one right there.
Younger older brothers.
Yeah.
Wow. So much fun.
All right. Well, we'll see
All
you
right,
guys in New
everybody.
York.
Well, we guess we're gonna close this down, Nochi? You're in charge of the shutting down of the office.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us again. Janice, you wonderful being. Nochi, you super wonderful being. Eric, thank you for everybody being here so that I could talk with you and giving me all these great things. Jason, everybody, Lydia, thanks again. See you next Wednesday.
Thanks.
Thank you, Kai. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Much love.
Ciao, ciao. Bye,
And
bye.
bye for now.